join us here today. We're so pleased that you're here. You know, we're going to get started in just a moment, but I'm going to go ahead and get started with this. People say my head's stuck in the 60s. I try hard to learn new music, but we're going to do this one anyway. Sing along if you can. Slow down, you move too fast. Got to make the morning last. Just kicking down the cobblestones, looking for fun, feeling groovy. Ba-da-da-da-ba-ba-da-ba-da, feeling groovy. Hello lamppost, what you knowin'? I come to watch your flowers growin'. Ain't you got no rhymes for me? Do-do-do-do, feelin' groovy. Ba-da-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-da, feelin' groovy. I got no deeds to do, no promises to keep. Dappled and drowsy and ready to sleep. Let the morning time drop by its petals on me. Life, I love you, all is groovy. Ba-dum, ba-dum, dum, 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 dum. Once again, this is Unity Cafe from Unity Lincoln Church, and we want to welcome you. This is an informal gathering of Unity Lincoln, and on behalf of Unity Lincoln, we welcome you to our online service in the name of all that is good, all that is love, all that is sacred, and all that is holy. It is our tradition to celebrate you and accept you with acceptance, joy, and peace. Namaste, dear ones. Namaste. We're doing quite a few things. This is a series on abundance. We are, for the last couple of weeks and for the next several weeks to come, we are focusing on prosperity and abundance. And we're not going word for word or story by story, but we are in this booklet, Nurture Your Divine Spirit. It is available to you for free. If you go to unity.org, go to Publications and Booklets, and there are a number of booklets available, but you can download this booklet for free, either in a PDF, or they will send you a real copy for free. You can also order these if you pray with Silent Unity, and if you call in for prayer, you can request it there too. But the easy way is to go to the website. And dear ones, we are so grateful that you are here again. This is Unity Cafe. It's a relaxed, and this was designed to be an interactive thing until I figure out how to work Facebook and technology and ministry all at the same time. The interaction has to come from you. We would love to hear from you. Leave a note, talk to us in the chat, in the comments section. We're so grateful that you have been able to join us here today. Let us turn our thoughts to God in prayer. Let us focus our thoughts on the love of God and the power of God's love within us. The power that love has to guide and to bless and to heal and to bring our lives peace, purpose, meaning, and abundance. This is our topic for today, and we are so grateful for the abundance that is available to us all around us through God's love. We're so grateful that you are here. And dear ones, let us, there we go. I'm going to start with, this is a section. This is out of our booklet. This is out of Nurture Your Divine Spirit. And this is by Deanne Weir Morency. Deanne Weir Morency, and it is called A Gift to Yourself. A gift to yourself. It says, and the question is, and this is going to be our question all night long, what makes you feel rich? What makes you feel rich? And this is part of self-care. This is part of the general well-being that we discover when we follow these unity principles. It says life is so busy. There is so much to do, so much that needs doing. I know I sure feel that way. And all too often, so little time to get it done. This is written in the first person by Deanne. She says, in my 30s, I was going full out. I was caught up in the belief that the harder and longer I worked, the more I would accomplish. And yet I knew my go, go, go attitude wasn't working anymore. And I've sure felt that way. You know, in my desire to do a good job and to make it in the world of business, I just seemed like I had to go, go, go all the time. See, she says, I worked all the time and was accomplishing less. Burnout was on the horizon, and I've been there myself. Something had to shift. I started by carving out time once a week to do something enjoyable and fun. And again, this is answering the question, what makes you feel rich? What makes you feel rich? So she set aside some time every single week to do something that was fun. And what was the other word she used? Enjoyable. Enjoyable and fun. She says the only rule was that it couldn't be connected to my to-do list or my work in any way. And I found that as well too. And you know, there's a number of things that I've done that were just for me. You know, I enjoy working out. I enjoy going out and doing yard work. That's a little bit different because it's just on a different to-do list. But I get the feeling when I'm working in the yard or something else that actually does get something accomplished, but it's not work. You know, it's something that I'm doing for me. You know, it just has to be something enjoyable and something fun. The only rule was it couldn't be connected to my to-do list or my work in any way. At first, it was a struggle to come up with ideas for what to do outside of work, which I loved. Then I had to navigate my guilt for even contemplating taking time off and not being 110% focused on achieving my dreams and goals. With some trepidation, I finally decided on something simple. I would go to Kate's Paperie, a store that sells eye-popping gift paper, gift cards, journals, notebooks, colored pens, decorative boxes, all displayed in eye-catching ways. If I felt silly and awkward there, it would be easy enough to leave and quickly return to work. I walked in and I took a deep breath and said, "You are here to enjoy yourself." Yeah. The next, and just about anything, like, I remember taking an afternoon off and going to an amusement park or just going to a park and walking around a little bit, being out in nature. The next thing I knew, an hour had passed. I didn't buy a thing. I just looked, touched, and wandered, letting myself enjoy. When I left, I was feeling oddly uplifted and energized. I was hooked on the restorative power of self-care, and that's the real important thing. It has to be something that feeds you and that you actually feel energized once you're done. You can feel tired, like a really good workout or something that takes a great deal of energy. You can feel physically tired, but it actually feeds your soul. Say, taking time to be with myself in loving, playful, creative ways transformed her life. When I take time for self-care, I have found I am more productive. I have energy, ideas, and inspiration. And that's a big one. There's that when you work so hard at your occupation, what you do to make money, if you are always busy, you are not at your best. Your employer isn't getting you at your best. And so it's important to take a break, to put your mind on something else. Oh, especially if you're stuck on something. Oh, I found that if you are beating your head up against a problem or project, and you're working away at slam, you're working away at it and you're not getting anything done, take a break. Take a break. Go out. Do something else. Do something fun. Do something for yourself. Do something for self-care. Again, this is written in the first person, so she says, I feel more focused, centered, and grounded. A half hour of yoga in the morning improves my day more than sitting at my desk for an extra 30 minutes. I remember years and years and years ago, I learned how to juggle. And there was a time when I was working and really just outrageously busy and just not getting anything accomplished. And I figured out that if I got to work just a couple of minutes earlier, 10, 15 minutes earlier, put on some music and juggle for 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes before I checked my email, before I really started my day, it made a difference in how I saw the rest of my day. Time spent in the bath with a lit candle, letting my mind wander, ultimately yields more creative solutions than simply brainstorming at work. Taking time to talk to friends, spending time with her cats, our animals, pulling out my paints and easel, reading a good book, all of these self-care activities support me in feeling renewed and resourced. When I practice self-care, I refill my well and have something to draw upon. Self-care supports my living a balanced, compassionate, inspired life. Take some time to do something fun and enjoyable. Listen to what you need. Be gentle. Be adventurous. Be committed. Be committed to your self-care. Make it a priority. It will be the greatest gift to you to give to yourself and to those around you. And that's the other thing. When you are at your best, You are going to be that light of inspiration. You are going to be, the power of an enlightened being, the power of a raised consciousness. The expression is raises all boats. When you walk into a room and your consciousness is raised, you cannot help but raise the consciousness of others. And that's just the way it is. So again, this is Unity Cafe. We're here every Wednesday night at 6:30. This program lasts about an hour. And we intended this to have an audience and to sit back, relax, have a cup of coffee, etc., etc., etc. But because we are locked down, and because I have this newfound creativity with with this technology, I'm having fun with that. And the technology is this. I'm a technologist. This is how I've earned my living. But all of this streaming, this is brand new for me, and it actually fed me. It got me thinking sideways and doing something other than what I do for work. So we are in a series of abundance and prosperity for the last couple of weeks. And we're going to continue on in that vein for the next several weeks. This is, I think, our fourth week of abundance. And I wanted to share this with you. This is not published yet, but this will be coming up soon. And again, the question is, what makes you feel rich? What makes you feel rich? You know what? One of the things that makes me feel rich is music. We're going to do a little bit of music here before we go on. So let's get. This is a friend of ours, Greg Tamblin, and I hope you'll like this. You breathe out, I breathe in. We're sharing molecules again. Oxygen and hydrogen. But do you know where your atoms have been? Parts of me were once in you, Genghis Khan and Hitler too, Jesus Christ and dinosaurs, Princess Diane, Dinah Shore. All these atoms everywhere circle back so we can share. No escaping, yes, it's true. Parts of me were once in you. My whole body, smooth and hairy, is really very temporary. Every year a new epidermis. Maybe next year's will be firmer. There are some atoms somewhere in Spain I could use back in my brain. They stay a while and then they leave, but they only fit what we conceive. All these atoms everywhere circle back so we can share, like some ever-changing brew. Parts of me are now in you. As hard as this might seem to be, parts of you were once a tree, once a fish in the primal soup. Something's dinner, something's poop. 15 billion years ago, the Big Bang was quite a show. All this time and now here we are, but all of you were once a star. All these atoms everywhere circle back so we can share. No escaping, yes it's true. Parts of me are now in you. All these atoms we've collected only means that we're connected. Since we share what we're made of, don't you think this calls for love? Yes, that is a very good friend of ours, Greg Tamlin. I'm not positive. It might even be on this track. You can hear my laughter in the audience. But that's Greg Tamlin for you. And we are here at Unity Lincoln Church, here at Unity Cafe. And again, we're so grateful that you are here. You know, Unity Lincoln is entirely supported by your tithes and offerings. And I keep, oh my goodness, where are we? There we go. We are going to receive an offering now so that we don't forget about it later. And if you would take your wallet, your purse, your pocketbook, anything that indicates money for you. We're doing so much electronic transactions, you know. Think of the website, think of your cell phone if you make transactions that way. I'm just going to take a plain old bill out of my wallet, and we're going to bless that. We're going to bless a couple. Left hand the God hand, right hand the multiplying hand. And let us say this offertory blessing together. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am joy-filled and grateful. Thank you, God. And we are entirely supported by your tithes and offerings here at Unity. So you may send your tithes and offerings. If you use PayPal, you can send them to office@unitylincoln.org. You can send them to the old-fashioned way, snail mail, Unity Lincoln, P.O. Box 30209, Lincoln, Nebraska, 68503. You can go to our website, and there is a link to donate via PayPal. You can also support us by using Amazon Smile and supporting us with every purchase you make on Amazon. Please remember to like us on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube. Let's get back to the fun. And we had just started this abundance. We are here, we're talking about abundance. For the last, this will be the 4th week, and for the next several weeks to come. And let's see. And remember, the question of the day, the question for the day is, what makes you feel rich? We've already talked about some of these things. You know, I've shared my $1 million mug here. I swear it's just water. It says, let's share this affirmation together. I release the fear of lack. I release the fear of lack. Lack is the state of being without. Lack is the state of being without. Not having enough of something, being deficient in some way. Many today hold dearly to the idea of lack in their lives, and I want to. It seems to be the way in which they think about themselves. People do this. I used to do it. I do it from time to time now. There is an insecurity, and for many people, this is a genuine insecurity. There are lots and lots of people in the world today who just simply do not know where their next meal is coming from. But no matter where you are in reality, you can always do something to make yourself feel wealthy. And when we begin to change our consciousness, we begin to see those effects in our life, in our world, in all of our affairs. People just aren't aware of this feeling of lack. It's like a fish not being able to see water. It's just a part of who they are. The test is, can you provide long lists of what you don't have? Is this a regular mental or verbal activity? In other words, do you stop and think about what you don't have? Well, I can't do this because I don't have that. I'd like to do this, but I don't have that. So it all comes down to your relationship with money. It all comes down with your relationship with money or material abundance of any kind. How do you view money? How do you perceive money? What is your consciousness about money, about abundance, about prosperity? Is it an area of competition? Now, I remember this. One of my former bosses, this happened to have been a mentor of mine in business, and he actually taught me a great deal, but I remember one of the things that he taught me that I learned just simply wasn't so, or doesn't have to be so, is that money, how much money you make, sometimes some people see that as a competition. It is how you keep score. If I make more than you, then somehow I'm winning. And that is just such an obscure, such an outlandish way to see or to think about money. So, is it an area of competition? Do you measure your success by having or getting? Or is money simply a means to secure yourself and your family in comfortable provision? How do you think about money? Are there negative feelings? Is it a struggle? Is it a stress? Or is it just simply, if it weren't for money, we would be back to the barter system, and I would have to find somebody to buy my grain because I wanted to buy sheep. And so money, material wealth, it is a lubricant. It is a social lubricant for certain. Do you use funds to lubricate your world so it works smoothly? Do you use your funds, your prosperity, your abundance, so that it lubricates your world and allows for a less stressed life? It's all part of self-care. It's all part of what we talked about before. Shifting our attitudes about material abundance is part of self-care. Do your funds support you and your joy, your well-being, your peace of mind? Or does money drive you? To release the fear of lack, establish and maintain a healthy relationship with money. Lack is a perspective. View the universe as abundant and existence as a demonstration of plenty. I love that. We need to view our universe as abundant and our existence as a demonstration of plenty. Unity teaches, and this is one of the very first affirmations I ever heard in Unity. Change your mind, you change your life. So when the fear of not having enough, when the litany of what I don't have starts, stop it. Just stop it. And that your denial doesn't have to be any more complicated than that. Stop. Cancel. When, oh, I don't have enough. I need this in order to do that. Stop. What do you have? Inventory what you do have. Inventory your blessings. Count your blessings. Count your blessings. When upon life's billows you seem tempest-tossed, when you are uncertain, thinking all is lost, count your many blessings, name them one by one, and it will surprise you what the Lord has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God has done. Lack. This lack is a perspective. It is a perception, and it is false. It is fear. False evidence appearing real, and that is all it is. When you change your mind, when you change the focus of your thinking from lack to abundance, from I don't have to I have all that God is and has for me, that's when we begin to change our perspective. And what we know, when we change our minds, we change our lives. Inventory what you do have. And there's that wonderful story, the widow's mite. You know, Jesus and his disciples are hanging out outside the synagogue, outside the temple, and a poor widow comes and she puts in just a couple of copper coins, just nothing, just absolutely, you know, what it would be the same as putting in 2 cents today. What's 2 cents? Nothing. And Jesus said to him, see this? This is a woman who has a real prosperity consciousness. She, you know, when the sophisticates, when the scribes and the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the well-to-do, when they give to make a show of it. Here, this is someone who has given far more, even if it's only 2 pennies. She has given so much more because she has given from her devotion, from her love, from her abundance. This is from a blog called Mind Movies, or this is it's actually a web page. It's an online New Thought program, and again, the question we are asking ourselves is, what makes you feel rich? And this again, from this is taken from Mind Movies. Someone writes in and says, for years I've dreamed about being a millionaire. I've tried every single personal development tool to achieve it, and yet I'm barely surviving. I am focusing on wealth and abundance, but I'm not manifesting anything quickly. Why am I blocked? Is there something else that you suggest? And we're going to talk about this. This is the answer that was written back on the website. It says, my suggestion is to bring ease and bliss to your journey. And that certainly is true too. We've talked about follow your bliss. Joseph Campbell in The Power of Myth. Follow your bliss. Follow what makes you feel rich. What makes you feel rich? And it can be something ever so small. Let go of any desperation or compulsion that you might feel. Those vibrations will not advance you on this journey. Also, remember to take inspired action. I love that phrase. Take inspired action. You know what that means. That means listening to that inner voice. That means listening to the Christ Spirit, the Atman, the higher self, that voice within you that leads you and guides you into all truth. That is what's important. Listen to that. And if you know, yes, you can spend all of your time in self-help books and self-help programs, and it can also, if you, you know, I plugged in variable A and variable B, and I'm supposed to hit enter, and now boom, I'm a millionaire, and it's not working. Well, you haven't really changed your consciousness. It is ease. It is easy. The master teacher said it, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Give this the light touch and open your heart, open your mind to receive, open your consciousness to a life better than your fondest dreams and your wildest imagination. That is true prosperity. True prosperity. Says, remember to take inspired action toward your goals. If it is making a certain amount of money, create a daily plan that will help you get there. Once you start taking action, the universe will start conspiring for you. It's the old story. How do you get to Carnegie Hall? And the answer is not practice, practice, practice. The answer to how you get to Carnegie Hall or any place else is make every step you take go in that direction. Now, I want to share a little bit about my prosperity story. This is just a small part of my prosperity story because, like the questioner, you know, in the 80s, I was living alone. I was freshly divorced. I was, you know, every penny I earned was going to rent or, you know, it just seemed like I couldn't get ahead. And every time I got a little bit ahead, something would happen, like the car would break and I'd have to get it fixed, or there would be some other unforeseen expense. And it just seemed like it was so hard to figure out how I could earn more, get more, do more. And I was growing in business. I was actually earning a great deal more, but I wasn't saving. I wasn't feeling prosperous. And this is when I began to focus on Unity's approach to prosperity. I remember going to Cincinnati, Ohio. I think this was about 1984 or 85. I went to Cincinnati, Ohio to a Edwin Gaines seminar. And for those of you who know Edwin Gaines is a prosperity and abundance teacher par excellence. She is just so amazing. She is in the same atmosphere as other great prosperity teachers like Catherine Ponder. Look those people up. And one of the things that I remember hearing at Edwin Gaines, it was that prosperity looks different for everybody. My idea of prosperity is not necessarily your idea of prosperity. So I ceased to focus on making a lot of money. I instead turned my focus to doing what I liked to do, to doing what I loved to do. Now, this was still in the realm of technology. I'm still a technologist. I currently work at the University of Nebraska as a technologist, as a network, a computer person in information technology. But I figured out that instead of focusing on the job as a way to earn money, I would focus on the job as a way to serve. And the more service that I could provide for people, the more I would be appreciated, and the more my salary increased. I ceased to focus on the salary and focused instead on the service. What service could I do? Find a need and fill it. When we find a need and fill it, and team that with the guidance of Spirit, because Spirit will lead you and guide you into whatever it is that you truly desire. The gentle leanings of Spirit within, that word desire, that is of the Father, of the Spirit within you. When we desire something and allow Spirit to guide us in the direction of that desire, we discover ways that we never dreamed possible to live a more abundant life, to live a life of gratitude and joy and prosperity. A life better than your fondest dreams and your wildest imagination. I think we can give an answer. You can give an answer to that question. What makes you feel rich? We acknowledge the appearance. You know, it does absolutely no good to deny the reality of a situation. Oh, well, there's no money in the bank, but I'm a prosperous child of God, and so I throw caution to the wind and spend money I don't have. No, that's called psychological denial, and it does no one any good. We acknowledge the facts, but we look beyond those facts to the truth. We acknowledge the realities, but at the same time, we focus our attention on what we do have. What do you have? Make a list of your blessings. Count your blessings, as the song says. Focus on wealth, focus on abundance, and do not focus on what you don't have. If you focus on what you don't have, then all you get is more of what you don't have, blessed and multiplied, because that is the power of our subconscious mind. That is the power of God within us. We get to choose what we focus our attention. We get to choose what seeds we plant and how we tend our garden and how we watch that garden grow. if we go about lacking a clear structure, if we go about lacking a purpose, a goal, a design, what we get is what happens by default. Are you generating the thoughts in your mind of what you've only really got control of what goes on between your ears, so put that to use. Don't focus on what you don't have. Focus on what you do have and watch it grow. Focus on something that represents wealth and abundance to you. Like my $1 million mug. Like a day in the park. Whatever it is. You know, it doesn't cost a nickel. It doesn't cost a nickel to check a book out of the library. It doesn't cost a nickel to walk down the street on a beautiful sunny day. It doesn't cost a nickel to call a friend. It doesn't cost a nickel to do most of the things that are really worthwhile in your life today, right now. We can visualize, we can treasure map. We talked about treasure mapping yesterday. We talked about seeing whatever it is that you truly desire. What is it that you want? We talked about, Toni and I last week, we talked about manifesting a cruise ship. We put on our imaging board a cruise ship. And sure enough, a few years later, we manifested a cruise for ourselves. And when we figured out that the picture of the cruise ship that we put on our imaging board was the exact same ship that we were on, it just blew our minds. That's how literally the subconscious mind generates these ideas, these concepts. And remember, when you're focusing on your visioning board, when you're focusing on your treasure map, don't just put the thing that you desire. Put images of wealth. Put images of money. What is your attitude toward money? Is it a burden? Is it a joy? It's a joy. Whatever little bit you have, if you treat it as a burden, say you only have those 2 cents in your pocket. Say you only have the widow's mite. If you feel about your money the way many people do, what makes you think you're going to manifest more? Instead, give thanks for those 2 cents. Give thanks for everything you have. Focus your mind on what you have and not what you don't have. You can, and don't worry about setbacks. I was thinking about this the other day. I mentioned back in my prosperity, in my less than prosperous days, it seemed like whenever I tried to get ahead, something would happen. The car would break or something like that. And I would often see that as a setback. I would see, an unexpected bill came, and now I have to pay this. I would see that as a setback. See it as a blessing. See it as a blessing. Gosh, I wonder how God and I am going to take care of this. I know it's going to be taken care of. It will be a blessing. It will be a miracle. And miracles happen every day. You can't swing a cat without hitting a miracle these days. You know it's true. You know it's true. See yourself in the flow, this ongoing stream of manifestation that is always active within you. You have to step into that stream and then stay in that stream of abundance. And one final thing. Practice tithing. This is one of those, hey, Oh, now he's gone to meddling. Now he's asking for money. This is not about sending money to Unity Lincoln, although if you find your source of spiritual food here, then your tithe belongs here. What is a tithe? It's 10%. And there is something magical about that number 10. There's something absolutely magical about that number 10, that 10%. And I think I finally figured out, why is 10% the magic number? And the reason seems to be that it forces us to stretch just that much. It forces us to go out on faith. What is a tithe? A tithe is 10% where you receive your spiritual food. Now, that does not mean giving to charity in the conventional sense. I'm going to get to this in just a little bit. When you give, do not give to poverty. Do not. It is absolutely wonderful to give on charitable organizations, Doctors Without Borders, Food for Africa, food banks, local food banks. I think it's very, very important to give locally, and one of my charities of choice is local food banks. But do not give to lack. Do not give to a local food bank or Doctors Without Borders out of a sense of lack. Oh, those poor people, they need this. Yes, they do. But guard your attitude. Guard the way in which you think about this. Do not give to poverty. Do not give to lack. Give to abundance. When I give to the food bank, I know that it will be someone else's prosperity miracle to put food on the table tonight. That is a genuine prosperity miracle. 10% given to where you receive your spiritual food. And if you receive your spiritual food here at Unity Lincoln, remember that your tithe belongs here. And if you can send your tithe, remember we are entirely supported by your tithes and love offerings. You can send that via PayPal to office@unitylincoln.org. Unity Lincoln, P.O. Box 30209, Lincoln, Nebraska 68503. We're so grateful when you do. Remember us. Practice tithing, except that 10% actually belongs to God. And that's an interesting mindset. 10% actually belongs to God. As a matter of fact, the whole 100%, as far as I'm concerned, everything I earn, every penny, belongs to God. 10% is my way of acknowledging it. 10% is how I tell myself that it is all of God. Absolutely. Right up 10%, right. And then you get the question, is that gross or net? It's gross. 10% right off the top, given to where you receive your spiritual food. That is tithing. And when you are praying, when you are following your bliss, when you are following your desire, remember this or something better. When you're manifesting that cruise, that new car, that perfect relationship, when you are manifesting that wonderful new home, when you are manifesting that wonderful new job, when you are manifesting the life of your fondest dreams and your wildest imagination, remember to give God a little wiggle room. This or or something even better. Something even better that I might not even think about in this moment. And you know what? We are just about out of time. I've talked so long. Give and God gives it back to you. Give and God gives it back to you. Give and God gives it back to you. Press down, shaken together, running over, back in good measure. God gives it back to you. Sing it over. Give and God gives it back to you. Give and God gives it back to you. I give and God gives it back to you. Press down, shaken together, running over, back in good measure. God gives it back to you. Thank you so much for being here. We are Unity Cafe at Unity Lincoln Church, and we are here every Wednesday night. Again, for the last 4 weeks, we've been talking about abundance and prosperity, and that will continue on for another couple of weeks, and then we will find something else. Please tell us if there is something else that you want us to focus on. Maybe you want to focus on relationships. Maybe you want to focus on meditation or some other aspect of your spiritual growth. Let us know. Put it in the comments. We would be more than happy to take a look at that. And this is how you can participate in this service. We're so grateful that you have joined us here, and we are so grateful every time you tune in to Unity Cafe at Unity Church. I wanted to, just a few announcements here. We are, let me see if I can find this. Here we are. We are focusing on abundance. Let's see. And there we go. Every Sunday morning, my metaphysics class, I'm going to put that on so that you can see me. Every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock, you can be here for metaphysics. We are just finishing up the Gospel according to John. As a matter of fact, I might have one or two more things to say about it this week, but then we are going to change our focus and go to metaphysical principles. What is that? That is, who and what is God or the divine spirit or whatever you consider to be the numinous, the all that is. Who and what is that? Who and what are you? What is our relationship to the universe? And how does mental science work? And all of these things. This is all part of metaphysics, and you can join us either live on Facebook or YouTube, or you can find us any other time. Let's see. And beginning on Sunday, in this time of lockdown, we are going to start in a very, very small way. We're going to start having meetings together again. This third Sunday, this is this coming Sunday, August 16th. This is the third Sunday, and we are going to have an outside service here at Unity Lincoln. Please join us for that. We have a garden group to clean up. We have a beautiful acreage here and in Bethany neighborhood, 1941 North 68th Street. Please come and join us. There's a gardening and yard maintenance group that meets on Wednesday afternoon as the weather permits. But you can take this time, you can work on this anytime you would like. And of course, all of the activity is outside, and we can keep our social distance. There are lots and lots of opportunities to grow and serve, join a team, get involved. We receive magic pennies that help us pay off our mortgage. Save your pennies, your nickels, your dimes, your quarters, and anything else that falls into that little jar on your bedstand. And every now and then you bring that to us, and that will go to pay off our mortgage. We also sell script cards for local businesses, for groceries, and for national orders like Amazon and Ace and a whole bunch of other things. You can purchase those here. Contact the office. And let's see. Dear ones, we love you. We bless you. We truly appreciate you. And we behold the Christ in you. God bless you, dear ones. Namaste. Namaste. Namaste.